World-class faculty, cutting-edge labs, and immersive learning. A vibrant campus life beyond the classroom. SGT University, nurturing future leaders.
Hello everyone, this is Simran Rajpal and you're watching JagranJosh. Today, we are diving into one of the most significant pieces of legislation recently passed in the United States. President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This bill promises to bring revolutionary changes across various sectors in the nation. On July 4, 2025, President Donald Trump officially signed this monumental bill into the law on the South Lawn of the White House. He proudly called it the biggest bill of its type in history. This comprehensive budget mega bill, having already passed in both the House of Representatives and the Senate, is now officially a part of the US legislation. So, what does this One Big Beautiful Bill entail? It repeals a significant portion of former President Joe Biden's climate laws, introduces broad tax cuts, and critically stops or reduces funding for several social safety net programs. This legislation aims to reshape federal policy across almost every major sector of the American economy. A core component of this bill is its extensive tax reform. It seeks to extend the significant tax cuts initially put in place in 2017 during President Trump's first term. Senate Finance Committee Chairman Mike Crapo has hailed this as delivering the largest middle and working class cut in the US history. Proponents claim it will put more than $10,000 a year back in the pockets of typical hardworking families, making it the most pro-growth, pro-worker and pro-family legislation ever crafted. Low-income workers are expected to see largest percentage reduction in their tax liability through provisions like a standard deduction boost and new tax benefits for childcare affordability. To offset the lost tax revenue, the bill introduces substantial cuts to society safety net programs such as Medicaid and SNAP, introducing stricter work requirements. It also overhauls federal student loans, potentially impacting Pell Grant eligibility and debt relief. Conversely, the bill earmarks significant increases in funding, including $92 billion for border security and wall construction, $100 billion for defense, and provisions to boost domestic energy production, reflecting a clear reprioritization of federal spending. Despite its passage, the One Big Beautiful Bill has been highly contentious. Even within the Republican Party, a major point of controversy revolves around deficit concerns. The Congressional Budget Office, that is the CBO, a non-partisan federal agency, estimates the bill could add substantial $3.3 trillion to federal deficits over the next 10 years. While the White House's Council of Economic Advisors disputes this, predicting an economic boom, the CBO's forecast highlights a core financial debate. Critics, like those from the Tax Policy Center, argue that despite some benefits for lower brackets, the largest dollar savings from the tax cuts disproportionate favor higher income earners. The proposed cuts to social safety net programs like Medicaid, potentially impacting over 10 million people's coverage and adding $1 trillion to the deficit over a decade, along with changes to SNAP, are major points of contention. Furthermore, the bill accelerates the phase-out of clean energy tax credits from the Inflation Reduction Act, affecting solar, wind, and electric vehicle incentives, drawing strong criticism from clean energy advocates. The contentious nature of this legislation was evident in its precarious path through Congress. It narrowly passed the Senate with 51-50 votes, with Vice President J.D. Vance casting the tie-breaking vote. It had also passed a previous House version by just one vote, underscoring its divisive nature. Congressional Republicans were reportedly racing to pass the bill before a self-imposed July 4th deadline, which is ultimately met. Having successfully navigated both the Senate and the House of Representatives, the One Big Beautiful Act has now been signed into law by President Donald Trump. This landmark legislation is set to usher in significant shifts in the US tax policy, social spending, energy regulations, and other federal priorities, fulfilling many of the president's key campaign promises. Its impact will be felt across the nation for years to come. What are your thoughts on this big, beautiful bill? Do let us know in the comments, and if you found this video helpful, do not forget to like and share it and subscribe to JagranJosh. See you in the next one. Thank you.